Hoe Nancy Reagan haar man ooit aanzette tot een oorlog tegen de drugs. Hoe die oorlog uitgroeide tot een zeer winstgevende onderneming. En hoe de rekening daarvoor wordt neergelegd bij armen, zwarten en vrouwen. Dat zijn vanavond de berichten uit de nieuwe wereld.
I believe we've come to a time when the American people are willing to make it clear that illegal drug and alcohol use will no longer be tolerated. A time when we will take those steps necessary to rid America of this deeply disruptive and corrosive evil. So, starting today, Nancy's crusade to deprive the drug peddlers and suppliers of their customers becomes America's crusade. If we're to defeat this enemy, we've got to do it as one people, together, united in purpose and committed to victory. And victory in this case is a drug-free generation.
It's very much like a war. We impose casualties and we take casualties.
It has a very high price, and there are winners and there are losers. Right now, the losers are the American people.
We imprison at rates greater than any other country in the world, except perhaps for Russia. We imprison a higher percentage of our black people than South Africa did during apartheid.
But it's a big business. It's the third largest growth industry in the United States of America, criminal justice.
Private corrections has become viewed as a growth industry, and so that it has been a very good area to invest in.
The incarceration rate for women has gone up exponentially.
Why?
Because of drug enforcement.
One of our papers is titled Entrepreneurial Police, precisely because we think that they're trying to make money.
Because these officers that you see out here, and our narcotics people, are not shown in our city budget at all. They're totally self-funded.
We have tens of thousands of people in this country who make their living as informants. We ask children to inform on their parents.
I think that what we see is not a war on drugs, it's a war on poor people with drug involvement.
Ready for training.
It's too much of a money maker. It's making everyone too much money. It's making all the municipalities and government money.
It's a self-perpetuating war, a never-ending war.
How do you mean self-perpetuating?
Well, it's self-perpetuating in a number of ways. And one is that in a real war, it's the military that is in fact taking the casualties. In this war, the people conducting the war, the police, the prosecutors, the courts, never suffer the consequences. They aren't taking the casualties, it's the general public which is taking casualties, and the police and the prosecutors are only benefiting in the war in the sense they get greater budgets.
Well, we're going to look over here. See these three birds out area? These three, they vacant apartments with what they're doing in this area is they sit right here between one of these porches. As you can see, all the bushes and the trees is blocking the view from us to see them. And what we do is we walk up to the location and from the rear, and we have a scout car come from the front. What happens is, as soon as they see the scout car, they turn around and run to the rear, and they run into us. So that's how we catch them now. This is one of the drug dealers that are usually in this area. He always hang around here. He don't live on the street. And
the guy walking there?
This guy walking right here. He don't live on the street, and every time that we come over here on narcotics complaints, we be getting complaints from him, about him, rather. We was thinking about investigating him.
There is research that shows that if you have more, for example, cocaine arrests, you end up having greater budgets. Because they're public servants, they don't put aside their self-interest in that way. So, and indeed, they can be quite committed to the whole enterprise. They can be convinced, for example, that drugs are a terrible thing, and they find it very easy to increase the allocation on that, even though if it were a level playing field, the public would be better served with a different allocation of resources.
Would you say it's easier to pick up a coke dealer on the corner of the street than a burglar?
Much easier. And we did our first study on drug arrests in the state. One person in the Department of Corrections said the police can go out on the street and pick up 600 drug users in a night. And then with some bitterness said, and we have to deal with them in the morning.
Every day we did some type of operation there, be it push off, be it the drug raid, be it just running in there, arresting them, finding the narcotics and weapons. And now the word is on the street that don't go there, the police is there. So we kind of like took back that apartment. Took it back, which means we took it from the drug dealers. Now we trying to make it safer. People are not financially well off.
Low income areas, single home families.
And we're trying to make this area better for them to live, because even though you may not have all the money, we are definitely trying to make the area safer. They don't have to live in a crime-infested, drug-infested area.
It goes beyond that as well. In 1984, the federal crime bill contained a section which changed the incentives that police face in the war on drugs. The asset forfeiture section of that crime bill focused only on drug crime, and it said that police at the state and local level who cooperate with federal agencies in drug investigations would share in the assets seized. Money, cars, airplanes, boats, those sorts of things. This changed the incentives for local police in many states because their local or state laws allocated those funds to the general fund or education funds or something like that. Now the police could keep them. And then the Department of Justice, who administers that program, went a step further and said that they would adopt local seizures as if they were part of a cooperative effort. And so all local seizures actually could be then diverted back to the police rather than going to where state law said they should go. And as a consequence of that, there's been a dramatic increase in seizures.